Number 1 Alabama versus number 14 Miami, right here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 3:30. It'll be on ABC. That's going to be a monster matchup. What do you see the keys in this game being? Who do you have winning, and by how much?
This is going to be a great game, of course, to kick off the college football season because we've got two just smash-mouth teams overall coming in and just really setting the stage for this upcoming season because it was crazy last year with COVID. We saw how everything played out with playoffs and players and everything, but we got a normal season under our belts now. Now, you look at Alabama, they are favored by 18.5 points, which is really crazy when you look at it. Even after losing 6 first-rounders in the draft from Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris, Patrick Surtain, and you got the new quarterback, Bryce Young, who is the talk of the town right now for Alabama. And, crazy enough, whether these Alabama quarterbacks go to the NFL and produce or they're even speculated to be in the draft, they're always good when it matters, and they're always going to be good in that regular season for college football, especially in the SEC. We mentioned Saban and Sarkisian earlier, and they're going to be there for Bryce Young. They're going to be there for him and help him work through those kinks and be an effective quarterback in the SEC. And then when you look at Miami, their quarterback is coming back from the ACL injury, and they are returning 19 of their 22 starters. But I'll be honest with you, I just don't think overall Miami has the talent to line up with this Alabama team. We know they bring in 5 stars, talking about the Crimson Tide here, bring in 5 stars in at every single position, any time of day, any point of the month, and they're going to continue with the great coaching. They're probably going to go to the national championship again this year. There's not enough great things you can say about an Alabama team, but you go to ask yourself, do you take potentially a Miami offense that could move, but then you've got an Alabama defense that's absolutely going to shut them down? I think the trenches is where it's really decided for this game. Give me Alabama's defensive line all over Miami's offensive line. I'm taking Bama 45-14 to open up the college football weekend.
That's a hell of a score.
Yes.
45-14. I know it's some Miami fans right now throwing stuff at their TV.
Sorry, man. Y'all know Alabama's that team, dude. They just can't be stopped. But hate to say it, but they're out there.
Just let me give you a little bit of recent history before I even jump into this. Alabama has won its last 6 season openers by an average of 29 points.
Yep.
And it's not like they've just been playing scrubs. Last year they played Missouri because they had to play in conference for the entire regular season.
Yep.
But they dirt work Duke, Louisville, Florida State, USC, Wisconsin. By a margin of 29.
Yep.
That's why the spread is 18, and it's probably not high enough. They run through everybody.
Yep.
Bryce Young is 3rd in the Heisman, the odds for the Heisman coming into the season already.
Yeah.
If you just look at the time that he got, because he actually did get a pretty decent amount of playing time last season because they blew so many teams out, you could already see that he has an extremely strong arm. He's very mobile, and he has elite playmaking ability. He's a little different from what they've had. Way different from Mac Jones. He's kind of more a mix between Tua and Jalen in his ability to actually run and throw. Because, the dude's got a rifle, and his arm is serious, and he's very accurate on the move. So, he's going to be major in this game. In addition to this, like you mentioned, the trenches, that's generally the major issue when you see the SEC teams match up against other conferences. Most teams have skilled players to match up position for position. The game gets destroyed with the offensive and defensive lines. They're so overpowering. Your quarterback no longer has any time, any comfort. You can't see. It changes the complexion of the game. And when they take a lead, all of a sudden you're one-dimensional, and it gets even easier.
Yep.
But, in addition to Bryce Young, Bama's bringing back Brian Robinson. He got really good time last season out there with Najee. So, he's going to be the feature back this year, and he'll be the guy everybody's talking about in the upcoming draft. He's got John Mechie and Jamison Williams, a wide receiver. They keep just pumping out top-flight wide receivers year after year after year. Alabama has all of a sudden turned into wide receiver in addition to other positions. They're pumping out players. It's getting ridiculous.
Yep.
But there's a whole nother factor that I think won't fare well for Miami. Their quarterback, Derek King, with the most ridiculous spelling of Derek that I've ever seen in my life.
Derek.
It's ridiculous. Why would anyone do that? But man, this dude, he's a long shot Heisman candidate, so I'm sure he's got a lot of confidence in his abilities.
Right.
But he gave the most ridiculous piece of bulletin board material. He came out and said that this game won't even be close. No, so you not only are saying you guys are going to beat Alabama, you're going to blow them out? Like, seriously?
Bama? You talking about the same team here? Okay, just making sure.
I mean, Bama's lost some games, but the only blowout that we've seen was when Clemson beat them in the national championship game. And that was the only time we've ever watched Bama step on the field, probably in the past decade and some change,
right?
Where the other team looked like they actually had better athletes at every position.
Yeah.
That never happens. Outside of that, like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yep.
So, I mean, look at this Miami team that you're bringing back. 19 and 22 starters sounds really good. And you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I mean, they got good depth. They got experience. They should be ready. They finished 18th last season, finishing 8-3.
Yep.
Sounds like a good record until you look at what happened. They only played 4 ranked teams the entire season.
Yep.
And they lost 3 of those games. And they lost them bad. They got beat 42-17 by Clemson. They got dog walked at home by North Carolina. 62-26. You lost to UNC.
God.
This ain't a basketball game.
Yeah.
Wasn't no Michael Jordan or Vince Carter or none of them out there. Like, what the hell you lose to North Carolina like that?
Yep.
And you around here talking like you won it with Bama? Then you lost to Oklahoma State in your bowl game. And when I say in your bowl game, I just mean in your bowl game. They lost to Oklahoma State in the Cheez-It Bowl. Offensive line is, quote, this Miami team. I can't make that up. The Cheez-It Bowl is where you lost to Oklahoma State.
He just did them like that. So they played in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Yeah. Cue in the commercials.
Jeez, man.
So, man, Miami stands 0 chance in this game. I got Bama 44-17, and I think those 14 of those 17 points will come in garbage time when they decide to pull their. But I don't even think they're going to take their foot off the gas because of what King said. You said it won't be close. They might put 60 on you just because you opened your mouth.
Yep. And you were talking about the record too. I mean, their best win was over an 8-3 North Carolina State team. They finished 8-3 last year. But Miami's only other win over an opponent that finished with a winning record was Pitt at 6-5. They haven't played true. And he's talking about this for Alabama. Man, Alabama does not miss a step. We've seen it time and time again. They could completely reload. 11 on each side of the ball. They're going to be an elite team in college football. That's just how it is. Miami's going to get wiped on opening day or opening weekend.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's going to be bad. And for my Miami people that I may bet with, y'all just make sure you've got my winnings ready. I'm going to come watch with you.